Alright, everyone's we're here. You read the titles, and today we're going to talk about it. I mean, I didn't actually find a lot of evidence, but I like the Fallen Order, but I only recently played when it released a couple years ago, so they probably perfected the game. So I was thinking like maybe I think they should be using the same engine and everything, so it shouldn't be have the same problem or whatsoever. But I don't know what's going on with the development. I know that usually game launch is like a software development that they will have a goal to launch, to set a date to launch the game, and when they delay, that means they're losing money. Yeah, when they delay, that means they're losing money. So I don't know. Maybe there's not enough time to finish it or perfect it, or I don't really know whether they tested with their PC PC tester, or maybe they're using the strongest build ever to test the game, or they just test the game bit by bit, but not entirely when start to end. Kind of, I don't know. I was so excited when the trailer came out and the news came out. I was like, oh, okay. I think I will play this one for sure. I mean, Fallen Order. At the last boss is a bit difficult, but it not as difficult as Dark Souls. But still, everyone loves Star Wars, including me, because I have a lightsaber too. I have a lightsaber myself. And to check that, you can go to my YouTube channel, look for archive, and I did show my lightsaber. And early morning, before I was check about that, and I saw this.
Remember, just feel it.
All right.
You're on Kobo. The Mogul Wampa thing is coming. You're not scared. Show me focus. Good. You're not playing baseball.
Right.
You will take me to the senator now.
You'll take me to the senator
No
now.
less risk.
Mark, you know I don't actually have the Force, right?
BD1 says no excuses. Hold it. You get 2 lightsabers?
Well, technically one, but I can split them.
You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Mark?
Duck! Okay, now use your Force powers to pull that sphere.
I really don't need you to explain the Force to me.
And when this came out, I was like, whoa, okay. Our Luke Skywalker make appearance. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I was about to buy it. I was like, okay, got it. And then before that, as we have previous experience like Hogwarts Legacy, the A Plague Tale's Requiem. That kind of experience is making me suffer at every point. I was like, maybe I don't know where I came that idea from. That maybe I should check the review and see what's going on. I think it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, IGN give it 9, but they're probably not playing on PC. On consoles, also have some problems, stuttering and all kind of issues. That's like maybe just a minor issue. So I tuned to Steam early today, as early as possible, and I saw this. You might not be able to see, but it's a mostly negative. Mostly negative. I was like, what? I thought they are the same engine and everything. How could it be mostly negative? And I began to scroll down. And I look at the system requirement. Minimum system requirement is you require 64 bits operating system Windows 10. I'm using it. You need 4 cores, 8 threads. Intel Core i7-7700. It's the PC CPU I used previously. I'm now using 12500, something like that. And then the memory required is 8 GB RAM. I was like, I'm 32 now. I'm way faster than the previous 16. And then 8 GB VRAM required from GTX 1070 and Radeon RX 580. It's kind of old gen graphic cards. And DirectX 12, you need internet connections and 155 GB of space. Okay, then I was like, okay. Then look on the recommended system is still the same, 64-bit processor Windows 10. This time is require i5 11600K, so I'm higher than that for that. Recommended memory 16 GB. I'm 32, so I'm over there. And graphic card 8 GB VRAM with RTX 2070 and RX 6700 XT. Version 12 DirectX, same space, and yeah. I was like, okay, I think I'm more on recommended side, even higher than that. That's like, okay, it should be the previous game Fallen Order. It shouldn't have any problem. That's what I thought. I was so excited. I said, I've been talking before it released. Like, okay, I'm gonna play this Friday, which is today. And then things start to turn 180 degree. I was like, what? Okay, so we're gonna go in slowly. Saki, everything broken. Okay, now this game released today and got mostly negative. So I am going to show you what's going wrong. You might not able to see, so I'm going to read the first one. So far the loading screen is pretty okay. I have no idea what is like the past titles, what it like past the title screen, because it doesn't load the past. It doesn't load the past that at the moment. That means he never been through the loading screen. Okay, next one. And this also not recommended. He said not recommended, and he said Star Wars CPU Survivor. Literally destroy all PC out there in the market. So that's why I was thinking, why are they actually playing on PC, or they just play on console? Because console have lesser issue, but it still have issue. Okay, so let's go next. Game is extremely fun, but perform terrible. Okay, I'm using a 3090 FE Founder Edition and 5700X and getting consistent of 30 FPS in some areas. Other area give me mostly consistent of 45 FPS, and that is on 1440p. Okay, and lowering the setting and using the FRS doesn't make any tiny bits of difference. And then it goes up like 19 GB of VRAM. It's a red game, but definitely wait unless you have 24 GB VRAM and don't mind playing games at 30 FPS. Yeah, it's not ported well. So, okay, this is Chinese. Lower 30 FPS is like back to PS4 genre at the time, and he actually basically faced, PS4 usually run 30 FPS no matter what, including Destiny 2, and this is bizarre memory for him, so he give it not recommended. And then say another person's here say games run terribly in the first zone, around 80 FPS on epic settings. Once you leave the zone, 120 to 160 FPS, and it's playable with minor stutters. Okay, and what he using is CPU is 13900K, and then RTX 3080 Ti and 64 GB RAM. I'm using 3070 Ti. This person using 3080 Ti is still not running pretty well. Alright, the next one. EA games is making us suffer. he cannot launch the game. And he said even if he fixed it, the game only runs 40 to 50 FPS. This I don't know who to blame, to be honest. And then this person here, not recommended, he say run like my ass after Taco Bell. You know, Taco Bell is the famous chain fast food, and yeah, that means it's not running. And this person using RTX 3080 is not good enough to run the game apparently, because I think on 3080, even on overclock, you run at 10 to 12 GB VRAM, so it's not enough. And then this person should say, this game is a mess. I can get around 40 to 60 FPS on high settings and 4K with my i7 RTX 3080, but the game looked like playing on a low somehow. If I turn on the ray tracing on FPS drop to 20. Out of my 70-minute in this game, around 20 is me just trying to get past the loading screen without crashing or get stuck on optimizing game files. By the way, why do I have to optimize my files every time I start the game? Hopefully the game get fixed soon. It's like, hi Mr. Ring. So it's like, alright, this person here says he's running on RTX 4080 with i9 13900 KF, 32 GB RAM, 6000 Hertz DDR5 RAM. Holy shit. Latest driver on Win 11, I can get around 30 FPS. I read till here in early the day. I was like, what? His spec is so high than I do. It only runs 30 FPS. So it's like, oh my god. 30 FPS is bizarre. It's bizarre. Sound like relaunch of Cyberpunk, maybe. But I think they're using the same engine as Fallen Order. I played Fallen Order is... No. I haven't bought it. I'm about to click purchase. It's in my cart. I'm about to click purchase. And I look at the reviews like, ooh, hold it right there. I hold my horses, and and I read. I was like, oh shit, this is not going well. And I put it back in wish list. So RTX 4080, i9 13900 KF, 32 GB 6000 MHz DDR5 RAM, run at 30 FPS. Oh my goodness. His spec is way higher than I am. Then I'm not even... He get 30 FPS. What FPS I get? 15? It's like back to... I don't know. Back to like Pentium 1 era. We're gonna play games at lower than 30 FPS. It's like, oh shit, man. It's back to millennia. And then the next person here says, this now make like a six AAA games to release broken on PC at launch this year alone. And then love, that means it's a curse word. F us. PC gamers, right? Start at between 36 to 41 FPS regardless if anything is changed. Performance mode, resolution low, medium settings. Oh wait, I'm getting a refund. Oh, I saved my money this time though. Okay, so, but some people do say give a good review. Say, I don't get the negative review about the bad performance. Running on RTX 4080, 13700K CPU, 32 GB 6000 MHz RAM, 50 to 60 FPS at max setting with ray tracing on, and with FRS 2 off. And it's a wonderful game. Just let people, you know, 32 GB 6000 MHz RAM. I don't know what this game is running on. Okay, so another person here wrote over here, one of the worst performance I have seen in a long time. I have RTX 4090 i9 13900K and 32 GB 7400 megahertz DDR5 RAM on my computer, and the game is installed on Samsung 900 Pro, that means SSD, at 3040 3440 x times 1440 resolution. I get like 60 to 80 FPS, and when you climb in a certain area at that point, and the game goes low at 40 to 50 FPS. Cinematic are stuttering and not end as well. Doesn't use the whole power of the GPU on certain area. Oh my god. And there's in-game stuttering too. Thanks to AMD, and the game doesn't have DLSS support too. And FRS literally look like fluff, and doesn't make any difference on FPS somehow. Don't know how they managed to do this, but it's unplayable at a certain stage. Sad. Yeah, but you need to know, he's at the top. He has the top of the top. There's nothing higher than what he has on the PC market right now. On like PC, and we talk about PC. It's like RTX 4090 is the highest now. i9 13900K, there is now. And 32 GB 7400 megahertz of DDR5 RAM. This is all on top. This can't go any higher. You can have this spec. You usually run at 120 FPS or 200 FPS on any games. Okay, even the Fallen Order also can run a very high FPS. And he at the top of the top hardware and get the middle acceptable point, but it will drop to FPS 40 to 50 at some area. It's like, oh, that means you pay like a couple thousand power bill of computer. You play a game that run on 40 to 50 FPS. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then this person say, first area run horrible, especially for a RTX 3070. I'm the one using it. Gameplay goes hard though. Pick up on sales. He said he recommend pick up on sales or when the performance improve. And then the next says, after the first roll, it ran perfect time, RTX 2070. But he never said after that what happened. Oh my god. Oh. Look at that. Oh, red. Oh my god. This person says, even NASA can't run this game in 60 FPS. Oh my god. Someone using RTX 4080, 32 GB RAM and get a average of 55 FPS. Fantastic. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Some of that review I already mentioned. Garbage optimization. Stop releasing game like this. Can't play on release. What I gathered today is like some people stuck at the loading screen and can't get into the game. It's same with Destiny. Well, I didn't play Destiny on PC, so I don't know how Bungie came through this. We'll stop it right here. There's one company actually do it very well on porting games. That is Capcom. They did Resident Evil remake on PC very well. I haven't installed the free version of Destiny 2 on PC yet, so I don't know how it works. And then this person say, modern gaming freaking sucks. USD $70 price tag for a game that can't pass 50 FPS with RTX 3070. What a freaking joke, Respawn. So probably not EA issue, it's a Respawn issue. And the problem is, unless those idiots like me stop pre-ordering buying games on release day, these will keep happening over and over because they only care about the bottom line. At least I have my refund. So, hey Chili, we're talking about what's gone wrong with Jedi Survivor. I mean, so I've been talking so much about Jedi Survivor. I was like, I want to play because we finished Fallen Order. I was like, oh, okay, sequel coming fast, hot. We played only last year with a very cheap price on Fallen Order, and then immediate sequel came out. I was like, good, then we can link the game together. We recently finished the story and everything, so we can just get the Jedi Survivor when it came out. And they're not showing review. What they say is like, this is what problem they're having. And I always really trust about the review on Steam, because you have to buy the game in order to make review, and that's about it. And it's not only that. Aside of PC, PS5, Xbox, also having issue. we go to the console later. We go to the console. You get 2 hours playtime. No. I don't want to suffer, because if you follow my channel, I'm suffering when playing Hogwarts Legacy. Every day I have to tweak the settings on Hogwarts Legacy. And another one is A Plague Tale Requiem, the sequel. Is also making me keep changing settings every single day before the stream. You make me not seeing I tweak the settings sometimes, but it's because before I hit stream, I have to make sure I run it well. Then only I hit stream. This is crazy. Okay. Devs are probably going to make it top priority to give players the best experience these next few weeks, after they excuse themselves for delivering us the game in such poor condition. Okay. They should made it top priority at the start during the actual development. It's just sad. And there's 3 people who will respond to it. Go look at the development of Choo Choo Charles. Oh, the train game, is it? A game made by a single person who have no idea what he's doing with the concept, and tell me the AAA games dev are just straight trash with no work attitude. Truth is that it was a more simplistic game on much better engine than anything EA currently has. Devs are usually hardworking people who care about the game. It's management that force out the door. Yeah, just like I say, the game is... Yeah, I know. And that's why I say, because every game, they have a release date to push out the game and on release. This is on what they signed for. But if they decide to fix the issue and delay the release, then EA is losing money. And they don't want that. They don't want to lose money. Instead, they make the player or people who purchase the game suffer. You know. I mean, we're in 2023 right now, and why are we still seeing this thing happen? And I'm not too sure after Jedi Survivor what's going next. So yeah. Okay, so I say I wait for a couple patches, 20 or so minutes of gameplay in, 2 crashes already, lot of hitching. Will update my review when things change. Getting around 85 to 90 FPS. Okay, I'll try starting running correctly on. Oh shit, he's on a top tier as well, 13,900K and with CPU with 4090 system. Okay, crazy. Setup is CPU Ryzen 7. I never use AMD, so I'm not too sure those things. Using SSD as well. Barely reaches 40 FPS. Oh my god. You know, 30 is worse. 40 even worse. To be honest, I don't know whether they actually knew, or they probably knew when the game tester played the game. I mean, what is this? Everyone wants 4K, 120 FPS, ultra ray tracing. Yeah, that's what everyone wants. Although my monitor is not 4K, but it can take a bomb on it. You know, computer and games are becoming so very advanced that having a normal PC considerable unable to run anything. Yeah, but He's on top tier of the he's the top hardware right now. He's getting 85 to 90 FPS. He's on the top hardware in the market right now. Because nothing get past the unless you go for like workstation with CPU like when they used to design the game and everything. I don't know. Another AAA game mirror with a horrible optimized release. The worst part is the game seems pretty good so far, and the level has been beautiful, and I'm very excited to play through this and unlock all the various lightsaber style. Please, for the love of God, optimize your effing games before you release them. Pay a lot of money for a game that barely works. Run slower than my fat ass. Yeah, like Cyberpunk. But the thing is, Cyberpunk, if you buy Cyberpunk now, actually they fix all the issue now. You can play Cyberpunk smoothly. But the thing is, no one cares about Cyberpunk anymore. Cyberpunk is... Run slower than my fat ass. That's crazy. Okay, number say, first also the game won't launch at my PC. As I say, there are some people cannot launch the game after the loading screen. The game is fun, everything I would have wanted with sequels so far, but the optimization is terrible. I have 3080 and i7 12700K and get 45 to 59 FPS. I highly recommend this game when they fix this problem. You know, when the game was given to game reviewer, I'm not too sure why IGN give it 9. To be honest, they don't have any issue at all because those people who play a weeks earlier, no matter on console or PC, they're all having issue. and EA will say they will release a day one patch, hopefully to fix the issue. And now you can see what happened to the day one patch. It doesn't solve the issue. Oh my goodness. I was like, you know, new game release is just like normal game, other games release, like Resident Evil releases. Everyone enjoying it. Some people may not like it, but you know, mostly it's okay. But not as this. This is like another Cyberpunk number 2. It's everyone talking about the issue until this point at this time. And on PS5 and Xbox playtester, they face stuttering, glitching, audio not sync, and audio overlapping. That means, let's say when two characters talking, and then it become when one talk and the second one will cover as well. So there will be double of the thing. Later I'll show you a video about the game tester when they see all kinds of glitches. I'll show you what I find out. Alright, so let's go a couple more because there's over 1,000 reviews. I'm not gonna go all of them. It's not enough time for that. Okay, so I knew from the get-go that I might run into some issue playing this. However, my current rig, i5, okay, 2070 Super 32GB RAM at 1440p is no means obsolete or even underpowered for the vast majority of titles. My thought was that I should be fine if I drop everything to medium with some tweaking here and there. Expectation did not meet reality. Yeah. And this person says, this is long. Okay. I see Jedi Survivor pop up and my game crashes. I can't even get into the main menu. I run a 3080. I know it isn't of the top of the line, but I can't even get to the freaking main menu. Please, I want to love and play the game, but the PC port just ain't it. Do not buy until they fix it for PC. I'm more than willing to change my review if they fix the launching issue soon. But I cannot be in a year from now. It's like most of the AAA games, yeah. Next one. If one person say maybe it's not real, but it's like 1,000 people. 1,000 people say that is something we have to look into. In game, 60% GPU utilization. Pause menu, 100% GPU utilization. The game literally start with a stutter and definitely drop below 60 FPS on the first fight. I'm using a RTX 4070 Ti with i9 10850K, overclocked to 5.1 GHz, neither of which are being utilized fully. Unacceptable. You play the game, CPU utilization 60%. Okay. You pause the game, 100%. 100% GPU utilization. What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know. The next one, constant stuttering, terrible performance, 100% utilization in the setting menus, but only 40 in the game. How do you push out a game with stuttering in the first cutscene? 15 seconds into gameplay, I have stuttering throughout. Always running a very good SSD drive and system, and yet this game ran terribly. It only took me 10 minutes in a small enclosed area to get bad performance. Don't buy this game until it's fixed. To be honest, everyone seems to be have like here and there kind of issues, and I don't think they could fix it in 1 month time. You feel your brain is melting? When I read it, I was like, I get shot in the heart or something. It's like, come on, I want to play. And then someone say, Cyberpunk worked better. Performance issue, recommended waiting. It runs so bad on my 4090, can barely hold 60 FPS at times. My system is completely brute forcing through the issue, so I can't imagine how it runs on lesser hardware. So these people on top tier, on top of the top hardware in the market right now, only get 60 FPS. Like me is like medium low. I don't think I could run it 20 FPS, man. Buggy freaking mess. Another AAA game launch broken with horrible performance is getting. This is getting effing old, and they dare charges us $70 and then promise to fix it later. Weeks or months later? Such bullcrap. Yeah. Exactly. So those people who pre-ordering, I mean, I never thought this would happen. I thought everyone thought, okay, Fallen Order is running really well. There's no problem on Fallen Order, no glitchy, no buggy, no everything. So they should use the experience on the sequel, right? They're using the same engine. And things is not the case, apparently. Getting about 50 FPS on 3080 and Ryzen 5900X with 30 GB of RAM, and I'm seeing about 40% GPU utilization and 15% CPU utilization. But all the 10 GB video memory are being used up. Even when the texture are set to low. So the game is actually eating up a lot of VRAM for some reason. Oh my god. Absolute inexcusable to optimize a game this badly these days. Why do we keep putting such incompetent dev team on such big names games? Doesn't even look as good as the most AAA games that run 100 times better this day. Super disappointing. Oh my god, there's a lot. I can't read all 1,000 of them. That people still like the game, I don't know. But mostly it's thumbed down, so make the review is a little bit challenging. So I want to go to my Twitter that I tweet today. Please follow the Twitter because any changes on the stream or anything happen to the game, this is where I will updating. So okay, this review I already read it, and as I posted earlier 5 hours ago, I said Jedi Survivor will put on hold until they fix the performance issue. How long? I don't know. And then this is what I got today. Star Wars Jedi Survivor performance seems to be struggling on PC. Oh my goodness. This is when I saw it, it's like, what? Then I go dig it up on on YouTube. PC review. Not the one I read. I forgot where it is though. Do not buy Jedi Survivor.
So this is my first do not buy video in a little while, but I have to get this video out to warn players because this is a AAA game that's going to cost you up to probably around $100. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is going to cost £70 for the standard edition. It's going to cost £90 for the deluxe edition. And this do not buy is not based on the story, the gameplay or anything like that. This is based on a tweet that was put out by the official EA Star Wars Twitter account. And I'm warning players because the game is such an expensive game and this is not a guarantee to mess anything up for you personally, but there is a chance. So if you're forking out that much money, you need to be aware of these problems. So there was a tweet from the official account that says, Cal's newest journey in a galaxy far, far away has begun and we're excited for you to experience it. Our first patch will arrive on launch day across all platforms. In the weeks ahead, we will deploy patches that will fix bugs, improve performance and add more accessibility features. Stay tuned for more updates. So before the game has released, 2 days before it releases, because this was posted a few hours ago, on the 26th of April, the game's set to release on the 28th, they have tweeted just 2 days before saying that they are going to fix bugs, they're going to improve performance and stuff, but they're saying in the weeks ahead, the weeks after launch. So that could be like, I don't even know if they're going to say, oh, we're going to do it in 6 weeks, 8 weeks or something like that. They are fully aware of issues in this game, and my biggest problem with it is they've been working on the game for years, they have delayed the game, and they did the exact same thing with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, except they never told anyone that there were possible problems. There were game-breaking bugs in that game. They were fully aware of them. They just still released the game in its state because they had to keep it in sync with the Mandalorian release.
Okay, if you realize the gameplay he putting out is not 60 FPS, if you realize it's like 30, 40-ish.
This time around, they've delayed the game, and just 2 days before it's released, they've told everyone there's going to be bugs, there's performance issues, there's a lack of accessibility features. We're still going to release this game and charge you £70 or £90, $100 or whatever, and we're just going to fix it weeks after launch. And then if there's problems with the fixes or anything like that, it's going to take even longer. So they've given a rough time, like sort of time frame on when they're going to be like deploying patches and stuff to fix things. And these bugs, the performance issues, are not going to affect every single player, but there is a chance that it will affect a lot of players, especially because they've come out and said, we know there are bugs in the game, there are performance issues. So if you're going to sit there and watch reviews, if you watch IGN and you see they've given the game a 9 out of 10, I haven't watched their review, but they've probably not spoken about a lot of the issues that players will possibly face. I am personally looking forward to getting my hands on the game, but I will, if I like notice bugs or anything like that, I will come back and make more videos on it. And then
Alright, so you can hear one person talking about it. I want to find the one that I found earlier today that I watched. Let's go for this.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor builds on
This is GameSpot.
winning formula of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order by making Cal Kestis a more powerful and resourceful Jedi Knight, while also upping the stakes and the challenges he's facing. Exhilarating lightsaber combat and physics-defying platforming puzzle challenges remain the best part of Respawn's latest Star Wars game, but Survivor also makes big swings with its story this time around. Cal's quest takes him to new corners of the galaxy, but the most compelling journey he makes is an introspective one. Survivor is a very well-written tale about overcoming fear, and it's the Jedi story I've wanted for a long time.
You know, this is only GameSpot I watch. I haven't go for IGN as well. But he will talk about it a little bit later.
Survivor takes place about 5 years after the events of Fallen Order, with the Mantis crew having gone their separate ways to pursue different goals in a galaxy increasingly dominated by the Galactic Empire. After a daring escape from Imperial authorities, protagonist Cal finds himself on the planet Kobo, where he discovers a High Republic Jedi protocol droid who carries a clue to reaching Tanalorr, a supposedly unreachable mythical planet. Seeing a potential home that's free of the Empire's influence, Cal sets about reassembling the Mantis crew for another
Alright, pause right here. Let's go down. I can't find the one that I watched today. Oh, I think I know. I think I know. Alright. I think it's this one that I go into. Let's see. No, not this one. There's one of the link that I was checking, and he literally show what are the issue. These people, when they play, okay. I'm not sure. I'm gonna zoom in. This is ultra performance, guys. Ultra performance. You get pixelated character and stuttering. When I see this in early the day, I was like, oh shit. And they're running on, the PC game is running on 4090, okay, and 21 GB of VRAM. Oh my god, and with top shelf CPU get 30 to 40 FPS. Oh my god. Oh god. Ultra performance settings. This is what he sees. This is a lot of people, the game tester or the play tester or EA gave them to review or, you know, play first a week before. This is only a week before. It's not like, we're not talking about 3 months ago or 6 months ago. This is a week before release. I look at it, it's like, ultra performance? I was like, oh no. This is where I make the post. I'm not going to play Jedi Survivor for now. I want to see which one is the video I watched earlier. Huh. PC gamers also reported a performance issue, stating the cutscenes often run at 15 FPS. Oh my god. And the game open world section struggled to meet 35 FPS with RTX 2080 Super. There's one video actually showed the glitches, so I'm not too sure where is it that I found the video. It's actually captured on when the gameplay. Yeah. IGN in Southeast Asia say Jedi Survivor delivered messy at PC performance, but the headquarter IGN give it 9. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's this person. Is it this person who says the problem? Is this the person that I watch?
This video is brought to you by N.
Okay.
The game launches later today. I tested on 3 different patches The first was a pre-Day Zero build, which is where I did the bulk of my playthrough. This was riddled with issues that EA said would be improved by a Day Zero patch. That Day Zero patch arrived midweek, so I tested on that and did the rest of my playthrough there. It did not improve performance or fix any of the bugs that I was encountering. Finally, the Day 1 patch went live about 24 hours before I uploaded this video, so again I tested what impact that had. I would say it had a minor but ultimately negligible impact on performance. I cannot speak to its impact on bugs because I spent so little time on this patch. I was literally just testing performance under different conditions. So long story short, I have tested the game on the patch you are about to play on. As for the hardware I used, I tested Jedi Survivor on 2 machines. The first was an RTX 2080 Ti with an AMD Ryzen 3700X. That is a decent machine that should be able to handle 1440p high settings gameplay comfortably. The other machine is an RTX 4090 with an AMD Ryzen 5950X. That is a very powerful machine that should be able to handle almost any modern game at 4K max settings. So you should know that I actually don't review games on the 4090 because it's not representative of the average consumer experience. I test games on that just to see what a game can do at the top end, but I review my games on the 2080 Ti because it's closer to baseline. Even then, plenty of people will argue that the 2080 Ti is still too strong a card, but you got to draw the line somewhere, and I'm choosing the 20 series. So I boot up Jedi Survivor on my 2080 Ti machine. I set it to 4K and crank everything to max, which is what I always do because I then start working backwards to find a combination of settings that will get me to a stable 60 FPS. Because that's the goal here. I'm not going for 144 frames. I'm just looking for a nice, smooth, solid 60. No matter what I did, I could not get this game to run at 60 FPS, and in fact, 40 FPS was basically the hard cap in many of the open plan areas, and that's actually a really important distinction. You can get Jedi Survivor running at a stable frame rate when you're in internal spaces, places with less geometry, less draw distances, less units on the map. On this machine, I can generally manage around 32 to 38 FPS. Open plan spaces are a different story. The game starts on Coruscant, which is one of those open plan environments, and at no point was I able to crack 30 FPS. By this point, I had already dropped down to 1440p high settings because 4K was running so poorly. When I still couldn't get above 30 FPS, I then dropped to medium settings, and I noticed something interesting.
Now you see the FPS actually dropping keep dropping, and it starts to be blur the character.
It made absolutely no difference. I then dropped to 1080p resolution, no difference. I turned off AMD Fidelity FX, which had prior to that been set to quality. That made no difference. I turned Fidelity FX back on, only this time I set it to performance. It did not improve the frame rate one iota, but it did render the game an absurdly blurry mess. Look at this guy's face. Abstract painting or something. Just as a laugh, I thought I'd turn on ray tracing.
Oh my god, the
take
FPS
performance down to a very shonky 20
FPS. Oh my god.
FPS, but I don't care about that at all because the 20 series has never really been ray tracing capable. You may look at the fact that the settings and resolution changes don't improve performance and think, well, you must be CPU bound. But both GPU and CPU utilization would hover at around the 30% mark when I was doing all of this testing. That is a very, very bad sign that something is seriously wrong with how this game has been optimized. Furthermore, German publication GameStar did some of their own testing. They had the same CPU and GPU utilization rates that I did, and they found that the game was using 18 gigabytes of VRAM when running at 1440p, which is very, very not what's meant to be happening. EA did promise that Day Zero patch. It arrived, it did nothing. Here's me testing the games in similar conditions post the Day Zero patch, and I'm still hard capped at 40 FPS in this area with various settings and various resolutions doing absolutely nothing to improve that frame rate. Finally, I retested all of this on the Day 1 patch and found similar results, though I did notice that GPU utilization had improved and now looked to be doing what it was supposed to be doing. However, it certainly wasn't translating into any more performance. This is how the game runs at 1440p high settings in this open world section, which is definitely one of the more taxing zones, but it's also fully representative of what other open world sections of the game look and play like. That 30 FPS is hard capped, and no settings I change would improve it. What these numbers don't communicate is just how laggy and shitty this feels. Like a solid, properly frame-paced 30 FPS is one thing. This is not that. It says 30 to 40, but it feels like 20. This section is a good example. It's one that's actually running at around 60 FPS, but all the micro stuttering and frame drops are actually reducing this to about 30 FPS when you look at Nvidia's 99% frame data. So even though it says it's running at 60 FPS, it kind of feels like 30 FPS. Okay, so remember how I said I don't review games on my 2080 Ti? This was the very first time I had to abandon that machine and review a game on my other PC because I found the performance here to be so shit that I just didn't want to have to suffer through any more of it. So that took me over to the RTX 4090 machine. It's a better news story, but not by much. I would remind you that this is basically the most powerful consumer level GPU money can buy, coupled with a very capable CPU. And even then, I cannot hit a reliable 60 FPS when playing at 4K, epic settings, ray tracing turned off. I mean, here it is, right? I'm just standing in a moderately sized area, no enemies around me, no combat, and it's 55 FPS. I turned on Fidelity FX to ultra quality, and that does nothing except, again, just degrade the image. I turned on ray tracing just to see what that was, and that cost me another 15 or so frames with absolutely nothing to show for it. Again, turning everything to low settings made no difference, and dropping to 1440p made no difference. I mean, it's a 4090, ray tracing off, 1440p, hard capped at 55 FPS. Even here, it still feels very sluggish and unresponsive, and the fluctuations are really going to get you. I pressed on and reviewed most of the game on this machine. You're going to see a lot of footage that is running at 70 FPS or even higher, which yeah, the game can absolutely hit that at times. But you're also going to see it dropping down to 30 FPS or 20 FPS when I open that map. The open world areas are particularly painful, and that's a deal breaker because the entire thing that sets Jedi Survivor apart from Jedi Fallen Order is how big its worlds are now. These are massive, explorable, semi-open world spaces, and as you're exploring them, your frame rate is fluctuating wildly based on where you are and what you're doing and who knows what else. And that is just the frame rate, which doesn't include graphical glitches and pop-in, which aren't terribly egregious, but they're noticeable for sure. The biggest issue though, and it is utterly game-breaking, is an audio issue affecting almost every cutscene. Here's how I watched about 80% of the cutscenes in this game.
Traffic. Looks like this portal's under maintenance. As soon as we breach the surface, jump to light speed. Took some hits back there.
Oh my god.
Mind running diagnostics while I transmit the intel?
Oh, okay.
Need that.
Okay.
No, don't touch that dial. It's not your YouTube that's fucking up. It's this fucking video game. The desyncing of audio, the repeating of that audio, it was this plague that affected both PCs I tested on, and nothing I did could fix it. The Day Zero patch also did not fix it. I've not seen enough cutscenes on the Day 1 patch to know whether or not that patch has fixed this, so there is still a chance that this issue will still be present in the game.
Okay, I don't want to go too deep on the spoiler side, but this is the actual thing captured on scene in the game that people play. So yeah. All right, we're gonna stop talking about it because I think it's gonna kill everyone else. We're gonna take a short break and we come back with StarCraft. We're not playing Destiny today, and yeah, we're resting from Destiny for now. So I'll come back with StarCraft later, campaign mode on Protoss, and see if we can deal with it. So thanks for watching, and this is the reason why I didn't play it on my channel, because I think I would suffer like something like Hogwarts Legacy or Plague Tale Requiem. If you're not too sure what I'm talking about suffering, go to my YouTube channel, look for the archive for Hogwarts Legacy and also a Plague Tale Requiem. So